This demo is a quick, rough introduction to how to get Istio intelligent routing going across machine learning training and scoring example. Basically, following the quick start here. Um, so it contains all the information on how to download Istio. Basically, you download a copy of it to your local system and then install it into the cluster. I'm going to use Helm to do that. And then we'll go and install some workloads into the cluster and then set up some routing for those workloads. So step one is to grab Istio onto the local machine. I've actually already done that. So I've got this temp location here. I'm in Windows Subsystem for Linux, but should work on Windows Command as well. Although there are some scripts and Bash scripts that help with Istio on Linux, so probably best to do it from there. So step one is we've actually got an empty cluster. There's nothing in it. It's just been set up. It's an ACS engine-based cluster, but that's just so I can have one in my local data center here in Australia. So first step is to find the Helm install documentation there. You can either do that or use the documentation in this file, the release route MD file. Basically, go and ask Helm to install Istio into the cluster. And what that'll do is it sets up all the Istio bits and pieces in the cluster and also enables automatic sidecar injection. So basically, when you deploy anything into the cluster from this point forward, it'll get a sidecar if it goes into the right namespace. And we'll have to enable each namespace to take automatic sidecar injection one at a time. In this demo, I'm just going to enable default namespace for automatic sidecar injection. That'll take a little while to complete that install, but what we can actually do is using the quick start over here, where are we? Using the quick start, we can, that's the wrong thing. Here we go, over here. We can actually just check that the installation's been successful. So first of all, we need to grab this, and we can probably see that it's still starting to come up. Well, the services will be there pretty much straight away, but the ingress gateway is still waiting there. Where are we? Here we go. This is probably a better test to see how the installation is going. There we go. See, they're all running now. So basically, that's Istio has been installed. It's really, really simple to do. Okay, so next steps are we've verified the system. Now we need to enable automatic sidecar injection on the default namespace. I've already done that. So if I actually go in here and paste that command, you can see that it's been enabled on default already from before, but yeah, you need to actually run the command here to go and enable that, or else sidecar injection won't work. So the next step is, we've done that now, so we'll just get out of this guy. The next step is up here in the sample code, we've got this sample file here that it's, what it is it's actually a Helm chart that's been built by the build process up on the server. So if I go and have a look at that in code, so it's here, this is sample chart. Basically, it's just deploying an app multiple with the label scoring and then with the version V. So if you deploy this multiple times, it's going to be called scoring still. So this is a very important step. But then the version changes, and this is how we're going to enable routing to the same app but different versions later on. So down in the values.yaml, I'm going to deploy version 1 of this. I'm just going to save this into the Helm chart there. I'm going to Helm install dot. Off it goes and runs that up. And then I'm going to change it to version 2, and then Helm install dot. And up it goes. So if now if I get a look at those pods there, you can see that it's coming up. Basically, this training job will run for 15 seconds before writing out the file that is being looked for in the scoring init container, and the scoring init container will block it until that file is present. So that all works with this this thing. The training job's completed. Looks like the pods are starting to come up now. So that's pretty cool. So now what we have to do is, now that those guys are installed, let's just go and have a look. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Now let's go and have a look in here. We need to actually install some things to route to. So firstly, we've got a service here. So let's have a look at that guy. And this service just points to scoring, no labels or anything, just scoring. So it could actually route between service endpoint 1 or service endpoint 2 at any given time. So what we might do is we might actually just pop this guy up. It's got no load balancer or anything on it either. We want it to be just in cluster. One very important piece of this is this name, HTTP. Without that, I tore my hair out trying to find out what was wrong. Without that name, HTTP, on the service port spec there, Istio just will not use it. It will just ignore it. So what we might do is I might just deploy that service. So if we go out of here into Istio, where are we? Istio, and might just do apply -f nginx, service. Okay, so now the service is being created. I should see the service sitting there. So that guy there, what I can actually do is, if we go into here, oops, what's happened? I've got somehow managed to get screen drawing up. What I might do is go into another bash shell and just get the proxy going there, so we can see that the proxy is running on that guy. And then I might just jump into a web browser and go to localhost 8001. So you can see here's the scoring endpoint, and you can see it's actually bouncing between 1 and 2, and this is default Kubernetes behavior. This is actually running from up in the cluster. It's being piped down by kubectl. So that's default behavior, and obviously that's no good because we want it to route to one or the other. So let's just hang on. I'll just keep that going. Whoops. Over here, back over here, let's start installing some routing stuff. It should be said also that before this guy, I've actually installed the PVC and things like that. So let's go and install this gateway. I'm just going to copy that guy there. So what the gateway is doing is this is linking up, setting up a gateway on the default Istio ingress gateway, and it's basically saying that just this gateway handles everything that's coming in on port 80 for all hosts. You can configure the hosts to point to have ingress on certain DNS types, but for now, I want to do it on everything. So let's get that guy into the cluster. So that's done that. Now, oops, I have no idea what I did then. So next thing, back to the README, let's install this front virtual service. So what this guy is basically saying we want to route anything that matches the route / on that gateway. We want to route it down to the front end service. So basically, when I go to / on the in the web browser, it's going to route down to this front end service. So I'll just run that, and there it goes there. Now there's no front end service at the moment. So if we go to / now on services / sorry, let's grab out the, before we go any further, let's grab out the ingress controller. So we want to grab this command here. We want to just have a look on the cluster. What is the external IP of the ingress gateway? Create a new thing here, /. So there we go. That's fine. It's not a 400 or anything. It's actually a 503. So basically, it's saying we don't have anything there because we actually don't. We don't have the ingress point. So the front end service even running, which is this guy here. So we just need to set up. So I probably should put this up there as a better spot for it. Pop it actually. There we go. You don't have to worry about this. This will be in the right order now. There we go. Okay, so what this is going to do is it just installs a really simple Nginx front end. What it does is it's just a little Docker container that has an Nginx in it. Basically, it grabs whatever's routed into it and routes it back to this. The reason why we're using Nginx there is just for a bit of flexibility, and you sort of probably shouldn't expose the Envoy proxies direct to the internet. But and then what it does is it just proxy pass-throughs directly back there. So anything that you have, anything incoming on the incoming request is going to get passed straight back to this guy, which is that scoring endpoint. So we'll set that up. Let's Let's get that guy in there. So so we can see now it's actually initting. So let's just go -n 2 get pods. So we're just going to wait for that to come up. Oh, it's already come up. Don't even need to worry about it. So now, with any luck, this front end service will have come into play. So anything going to slash will route to front end service on the port 80. So with any luck, we should be getting that routing. See, it's bouncing around now. It's not looking like it's being routed, but it's actually it is working. But it's still using the default Kubernetes routes. So the next step is to actually enforce a route on that guy. So let's have a look here. So we've actually already done that as well. So let's grab this guy. Now what this back virtual service is doing is it creates, in Istio we have something called virtual services, and basically you create services that are just like real Kubernetes services, but they're virtual. In this case, we're saying anything that targets this, this host scoring, which is the service we're looking at, actually route to scoring subset v2. And down here, destination rules, we define these subsets. So we've got v1, which looks for labels v1. We have v2, which looks for labels v2. If we have a look at the pods, let's have a look. Let's have a look on this guy here. Describe pod that pipe less. You can see it's got the version v1 on it, so that's pretty cool. So we want to route to, let's just say, this is going to route to v2 of that. So we should see it's actually build to, probably badly named. So let's grab that command out of the README there and run that. Okay, and now let's go back into here. And for some reason I've ruined it. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So that's now always going to v2. Let's see if we can do this nice and quickly. Let's go and make this v1. And what I might do is I might actually just over here, let's curl this. Let's watch it. Every 1.5 a second, curl this. Okay, so it's always build one, and you can see it's actually running quite quickly. Let's apply that new rule. So let's go here. We just got to, instead of create, we go to replace. You see how quick it goes to 1. There we go, and it's already routing to 1 now. So that's pretty much it. So what you want to do is, if you want to DevOps this, is produce this file, this bit here, these two things, the destination rules and the virtual service here for those versions that the system's capable of targeting at, and then in the DevOps tool, run Istio control to update the cluster, and that should just about do it.